Good morning, this is Jody, Jen, and Leanne from Safety and Health Services, and we're here to show you all the work that we've been doing with occupancy assessments for Red River College. And we really thought it would be great to see how what tools we used in order to make the assessment so that you can really understand why your occupancy rates have dropped. So I'll get Jen and Leanne to walk through what the assessment looks like here in this lab, which is A342.
Okay, so we're in A342 lab, a typical lab that we have in our A tower. And so one of the things that we do when we first go into a space is we'd have a look at it. Are the desks movable? Are they not? And how far apart are these actual students sitting? So sometimes it's a lot closer than what you actually think. So we were very fortunate. We had carpentry make us these very handy dandy 6-foot sticks that have been a lifesaver in this process. So essentially what we do is we look at the space, we put our measuring sticks down and determine how much space a student actually has. So from this side, we would normally have 3 students on this side, but as we can see, we are actually closer than 6 feet. So in order to maintain our social distancing, we in fact need to remove one of these chairs from this side. So at this place, now we actually have room for 2 students to be able to sit at this space. The next thing we need to do is look at the people across this way and this way from this student. So if we measure this way, we don't have enough space either. So this whole row is now can't have students on it. But the row after has more than enough space. So in this instance, we can only have 2 people at this whole desk for each one of these 3 rows. So that really reduces the amount of people that we can have in this classroom or this lab. The other thing we have to take into consideration is our side spaces. So all around these labs, we typically have microscopes or wash stations or all that sort of stuff. So we have to take into effect or look into what impact do those spaces have as well? And are people actually working there as a regular station? Or is this just a kind of quick go over there, wash your hands and come back? So in this space, we had an occupancy of 20 people. And when our assessment is done, we are now down to 7 students plus 1 instructor.
Okay, so we've shown you a lab, and now we're going to show you a meeting room. So this is A111, and Leanne and Jen are just going to walk through how we came up with our number of a capacity that was 14 and is now down to 4.
So we're going to start by showing you the first location where someone could sit at the top of the table here, and you'll see the next place where 2 meters is attainable here. So we've got 1, 2. And then from this stick to the other side, that's 3. And then Jen will show you where the next person can sit to maintain the distance right there. So that's how we've got four people in this room.
Okay, so our last occupancy assessment is a classroom, which is in A112, and now we'll show you how we figured this one out.
So this room has a current capacity of 30. And so if we look at the space, these are actually 5-foot desks. So we can't actually have somebody sitting that close because we're having to use our 6 feet meter between people. So if we look at that and we put our stick down, we could have a person on either end of these 2 tables and have enough distance. So we would be able to have 2 in this spot here. But the thing we have to keep in mind is what's beside us and what's behind us. So if Leanne puts her stick down where this person would be sitting to the next one, it's too close here, so we can't have somebody sitting here. But we could have somebody sitting on this far spot. And then if we look on that side as well, same thing, we would need to have somebody not sitting so close to this person based on the distance, but we could have someone there. So in this row, we could have 4 people across. But we also have to look front and back from this room as well. So as Leanne is holding this out, we don't have enough space going back between any of our rows. So in order for us to accomplish this, we have to take 1 row out. So in this scenario, we take this front row completely out space our tables a little bit further apart so that we're able to achieve our 6 foot front and back as well. So we went from a 30 occupancy down to 4, 8, 12.